Thank you very much. Quickly moving on to the next. Key issues that I've picked for planners to incorporate: environmental conservation and climate resilience, agriculture, livestock value addition, industrialization, sustainable urban transport and public utilities, adequate, safe and affordable social services and housing, inclusive and sustainable urbanization, industries and economy. Our next presenter, also another powerful lady, Eng.Jacinta Mwangi. Eng.Jacinta has over 25 years experience in the road sector. She's a holder of a Bachelor of Science from JKUAT and a Master's Business degree in Administration from the Kenyatta University. She's a registered professional engineer with the Engineers Board of Kenya and a corporate member of the Institution of Engineers of Kenya. Bwana President, we need to consider for honorary membership in KIP. She's missed some of the IEK conferences just to attend ours. She has served in various capacities at the Ministry of Roads and Public Works and at KURA. Key projects handled include the implementation of the Nairobi Intelligent Transport Systems Project, ITS, as well as the Bus Rapid Transit BRT Line 5. She is now serving as in the Directorate of Policy, Strategy and Compliance at KURA, overseeing the implementation of the authority's strategic plan, performance, contracting, risk management, quality assurance, among others. I always hear a fellow member karaoke calling her Mama Miradi. She sits in the boards of Water Technical Training Institute and Ruare High School. She has a heart for mentorship and philanthropy. She enjoys a round of golf. I think when you talk to her, you'll get to hear some golf. And currently serves as the lady captain, Nyeri Golf Club. Please welcome Eng.Jacinta Mwangi.
Thank you, Plana Nyarangi, for that good introduction. My name is Eng.Jacinta Mwangi from Kenya Roads Authority. Allow me to recognize the KURA staff who are here. Please stand up. Plana Oruko. Yes, he's one of our surveyors. Odak is a commonplace. I believe we should be having more, probably they're out there at the booth. Then allow me to also recognize my mentor, Plana Ferro Joyce Karaoke. Where is she? Oh, mama ametoka ameacha mtoto. Sawa, please pass her our regards. I have a presentation on the issue of the climate resilience, especially in the transport sector. You realize that whenever we are talking about food security, it cannot be achieved without having the food produced reach the people it is intended to reach. We can have livestock, but if it doesn't reach the market, it doesn't reach the people it is intended, it will be wasted. The same with food crops. I can tell you from first person's experience, in the last rains, that is around April, I lost 6 acres full of cabbages because simply there was no vehicle that could get there. So I am talking from a first person experience on this area of climate change. So Kenya Urban Roads Authority, we partnered with technology refuses to work when it is badly needed. So that is KURA, that is who we are. We are state corporation under the Kenya Roads Act. We were established in 2007. We have a mission to be a leading provider of sustainable urban mobility. Look at the word sustainable because it has to be all the year round. It has to be all seasons around, whether it is raining, whether it is hot. That is our mission, and especially for urban areas, because I believe most of the people here, you work and operate in a certain urban area. And our vision is to provide, the mission is interchanged. So our mission is to provide and manage quality, safe, adequate, and responsive urban mobility. It has to respond to the people that we are dealing with our core values of equity, integrity, teamwork, and professionalism and integrity. I don't know. So that is our footprint. I don't know what has happened to... Our footprint, we are there in all the urban areas in Kenya. Yes. The roads as an enabler of food security. The Kenya Vision 2030 recognizes roads as an enabler to realization of the vision. And roads are key in food security, transport of farm inputs, farm produce, farm implements, labor, extension services, and access to financial institutions. So prices of farm produce depend on the transport costs. I've just shared my own experience. The urban populace rely on food from the rural areas, though we have a small number. I was just sharing with my friend here about the people in urban areas who are doing extensive farming, especially in livestock like poultry, eggs. I have neighbors in urban areas who are doing as much as 13,000 chicken in that small space. So roads are very expensive to build, but very easily damaged when we have these issues of climate change. So what is climate resilient infrastructure? Is infrastructure that is planned, implemented, and managed in a way that prepares it to adapt to climate change conditions. It doesn't matter whether it is raining or not. Infrastructure that can withstand, respond to, and recover rapidly from disruptions and to continue to provide the essential services it is meant to. Infrastructure that integrates climate change and disaster risk reduction, adaptation, mitigation, and sustainability in the project cycle. So that is our our perception of what we need on our infrastructure. It looks like my slides have refused to move. Probably I will remove this and allow you to share from... Technology can be interesting. So what our strategies... Yes. I think it's okay. So climate change. So the long-term changes in temperature, precipitation, and weather patterns, they are caused by greenhouse emissions, deforestation, industrial activities, and etc. And what is the risk? We have rising temperatures, rise in sea levels, increase in frequency of extreme weather conditions like we experienced in the last 2 years. Yeah, you can share from your end? Yes. So this is what technology does to us sometimes when we rely on it. So the impacts on climate change on our roads. I don't know, you can share that screen so that we see what we are talking about. The changes in infrastructure. We see flooding, we see cracking, we see how the roads are damaged when it rains or when it is very hot with the landslides. Continue. Yes, thank you. I think we can stop there. That is what I was talking about. It's just a pictorial view of the climate change and the impact on our roads. Let's continue. And then the rapid urbanization challenges that contribute to climate change. You can see all those vehicles, each one on the road. So as we think climate change, we also need to think about the transport. How are we transporting our people, especially in urban areas? This issue of single-use vehicle, single occupancy vehicle, do we need to promote that? Let's continue to the next slide. So those are the impacts of climate change. I talked about flooding, extreme temperatures, landslides, and large subsidence. And the challenges that we face today, we have that there's some statistics there that more than 1 billion people in low-lying settlement face hazards of sea level rise, subsiding costs of flooding at high tides. I think one of my predecessors have talked about it. We have 350 million urban dwellers live with the threat of water scarcity. And then we also have an additional 2.5 billion people are expected to live in cities by the year 2050. During the urban forum that was organized, we participated in Mombasa, this one came out very, very clearly about that the future inevitably somehow is urban. We are subdividing land in Malindi. I see that on TV, in Kilifi, in Naivasha, in Moranga, in Kajiado, and we are converting in Matu. I find it sometimes even a bit ridiculous. And we are all giving the 50 by 100. And these people will want resources. They want services. Anyway, maybe that is where we are moving in the future. But the plan has a lot of work to do. Road maintenance, the funds we use for road maintenance, after every floods, we have to come back and maintain. So in the recent rains of April, the estimated cost was around 37.3 billion. So where is the opportunity in this issue of, as we talk climate change, as we talk about the roads, is that 75% of the infrastructure that will exist in the year 2050 is yet to be built. So the opportunity is there. So urbanization offers an opportunity for widespread transformational adaptation and climate resilience development. So as we build this, we also think about adaptation, because we already have existing infrastructure. So there's also opportunities in the adaptation. We must build smarter and retrofit faster. What do I mean? We already have existing infrastructure. Are we going to let it just like that? So we need to retrofit, where we can add a box culvert here, where we can add a footpath, NMT, for active mobility. We do it now, because in that way you also reduce the number of vehicles that are using the roads. Where we can put footbridges, we need to retrofit as we build now, smarter as we go forward. And I'll be putting a challenge to the planners to give us enough space to be able to build, because having visited Konza 1 or 2 times, you appreciate that space is of essence. You couldn't have built all those infrastructure without space. Those 2.5 by 2.5 channels that are meant to carry infrastructure, you need space for that, So climate resilient strategies in urban mobility. Our objectives are 4: to integrate climate risks in planning, designing, and implementation of urban road infrastructure. 2, to decarbonate and mitigate greenhouse gas emissions in road transport, and that is where we are going, ITS, BRT. 3, to build the capacity of urban infrastructure actors to plan, design, finance, and implement climate-resilient infrastructure. And 4, to influence and take lead in harmonization, ignore the one, of policy norms, processes of actors in urban areas. So we want to take lead. Our conceptual framework, we have the 3 strategies, green mitigation strategies, pillar. We have 3 pillars. We have the adaptive strategies pillar, and then we also have the enabling strategies pillar for sustainability. I don't know who is moving faster than the other. So mitigation strategies, one I've talked about mitigation. I think that is what was on the screen. We have green construction practices. We use low carbon materials, energy efficient processes. In some countries, they control the kind of vehicles that we find on the construction site. In our country here, you find the smoking screens. They are the ones that we find on our construction sites, and we don't care. 2, enhancing sustainable transport options. That's what I've been talking about, BRT and non-motorized transport, walkways, implementing intelligent transport system to avoid, to reduce the waiting time on junctions. Adequate road space is very key, and the role of planners cannot be emphasized. The role of, emission reduction, green technologies, I've talked about them. The pillar on adaptation, we had talked about the design standards. We modify standards to withstand extreme weather. Risk management, integrating climate risk assessment in our planning and project development. Resilient materials, use materials that can withstand temperatures, whether hot or cold, and excess waters. Infrastructure monitoring, implementing real-time monitoring systems for early warning and quick response. The enablers, policy and regulations. I think this one we've talked about this morning, and I think Orlando talked about it very well when we are talking about those 40 by 80. In a place like Matu or in a place like Malindi, I don't know. And these people will need facilities. We need to enforce. Capacity building, we've talked about it. Resource mobilization, we have, this one we cannot overemphasize. And the issue of tapping into the global fund and the carbon credits, are we able to tap in using the strategies that we have? Partnership, collaboration between government agencies, private actors, academia, and the civil society. So we have a phased approach to the implementation plan. We have short-term, that is immediate actions that we can do, that is registration policies and quick short-term interventions. Then we have medium-term, we have capacity building, infrastructure upgrades where necessary and where possible. And then we have the long-term plan for full integration of climate resilience into all aspects of infrastructure development. Monitoring and evaluation. We need regular reviews, impact assessment, and adaptive management strategies. So the key design principles, I thought it is necessary to talk about this a bit. Open space, I think is very key. Access movement. Sometimes we provide infrastructure, but does not give access. Smart technology, we've talked about ITS, we have talked creating communities. And I think, okay, but don't throw stones on me. I think the issue of affordable housing, this is what it is meant to address, the issue of creating communities working together. I only hope that you're providing other infrastructure like schools, like hospitals, as we do the affordable housing. Then the other issue is the building technology, the technologies that we are employing. And then the design principles that we need to adhere to. access and movement, that when you allow access, please also provide for movement. Pedestrian friendly, we allow for even people with disability. When I attended the National Construction Authorities Conference, the ICOS, we had a presentation here by Senator Asigi, the one who is blind. And it was actually a very big open, and she talked about how the kind of accesses that we need to provide. The green vouch that allows them greenery in your neighborhood, the psychopaths, do we allow? So all this, we need space. And that is why I'm studying here. As we provide what we have given there, we need the role of the planner to be very key, to be at the center. So those are, next slide, some of the activities that we have done in this area of climate resilient achievements. Construction of box culverts, we have some few providing of walkways, pedestrian footbridges, signalization of junctions. Engineer Oginga will be here on Thursday to talk about it. Design and construction of BRT Line 5, again, he'll talk about it. Tree planting and tree growing. And I say about a tree, there's a difference between tree planting and tree growing. One is tree planting. If you end up there, you become a baby daddy. If you grow the tree, you become a father, you become a parent. So let us choose wisely whom we want to be. Development and implementation of climate resilience and mitigation strategies, all that we are doing. So that's our TMC. So finally, I know I can see Plana Nyarangi is here. Conclusion, food security cannot be achieved without transport. We can grow the food, but if you don't get it to the people, zero. Climate resilience is necessary in insurance or your road transport. I mean, availability of transport of commodities. Adequate space for infrastructure is key. Climate resilience strategies can be adapted and applied across the construction sector. So when we finish developing the strategy, and I thank our president, he came to our stakeholders meeting, is that it will not only be for me, it will be for all the actors in the urban space, or even in the construction industry. You know, if you can use the strategy to be able to gain one or two, especially in this area of carbon credits, well and good. Capacity building is very key, and then there's need to adopt climate resilience plus approach in managing our infrastructure. Thank you very much.